I think it's safe to say that we all dream of waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and ready to go straight to work and be productive all day. The goal of morning routines is just that, boosting up your body to get ready for the day. Everyone has more or less their own, which includes good and bad habits. With what is wrong, we have of course breakfast. When you have to rush out of your bed to get prepared for work in 30 minutes, it's easy to neglect this first meal of the day. However, tons of articles and experts agree that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. In this video, I will first share the components that make a successful breakfast. Then show a smoothie recipe that fulfills the previous recommendations. First of all, what is a healthy breakfast? There are several components, but regardless of what time of the day you break your overnight fast, scientific evidences show that all humans have improved cognitive performance and more sustained energy for meals that don't spike their blood sugars. But really, what does it mean? The rise of blood sugar level is the consequence of you eating something. Everything you eat contains carbohydrates. When you eat, your body breaks down the carbohydrates into its glucose building blocks, which pass into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar then increases. Now, here comes insulin. Insulin is a peptide hormone produced in the pancreas. Its role is to promote the absorption of glucose. Basically, insulin tells your cell to take up the glucose to use for generating energy. The goal of insulin is so to regulate your blood sugar level. If glucose builds up in your bloodstream, it can cause your blood sugar to spike. At this point, the spike in blood sugar causes the pancreas to produce much more insulin in order to handle the overflow. It causes blood glucose to fade as quickly as it was built. This strong disturbance is not without consequences, because before stabilization, your blood sugar level goes through a state of what we call hypoglycemia. Before continuing, maybe it's necessary to remind you that glucose in the blood is the primary source of energy for our body and brain. Hypoglycemia occurs when your blood sugar level is too low. It goes without saying that it leads to not so cool consequences like drop of energy, hunger, irritability, fatigue, discomfort, anxiety, headaches, difficulty for concentration, excess sweet, jitters, dizziness, and shakiness. This sugar crash is what you want to avoid after a meal, especially after the first meal of the day. So what's crucial to know in order to avoid sugar crashes? To avoid sugar crashes, we must first reduce sugar spikes. There is many ways to do this, like drinking more water, exercising, and adapting your eating habits. We'll focus on the last. When we talk about new food consumption habits, we are interested in carbohydrates, obviously. The glycemic load or index gives us an idea of how much a certain food will cause your blood sugar to rise, how much carbohydrates it contains, in other words. Food with low glycemic index, like whole oats, are digested more slowly, prompting a more gradual rise in blood sugar. They prevent sugar spike and sugar crashes with all the consequences that it entails. Okay, that's fine, but what else? I'm not a nutritionist, but from what I've understood, in addition to quality carbohydrates, we need enough proteins, fibers, good fats, and antioxidants, and something to hydrate, like water. Proteins responsible for energy or motivations and stimulate the awakening. Good fats that can be found in nuts eliminate cholesterol and are paramount for our overall operation. Fibers reduce the assimilation rate of carbohydrates, so flattening the curve. Antioxidants have multiple benefits to prevent diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Now you're right to ask how to cook a smoothie that contains all these benefits. First of all, here is the list of ingredients with all the glycemic index associated. A glycemic index is low when it's under 55. As you can see, all the ingredients that make up our meal are under this trigger. So we can validate that our meal, the breakfast that we will make, contains good carbohydrates. This smoothie contains all the proteins that we need, taking the fact that we have whey powder, vanilla whey powder, bananas. And talking about bananas, the bananas contains good fibers, as well as the berries that also are great antioxidants. And also peanut butter brings good fats. So let's go right into the preparation.
I had an error while recording the following clips, so I decided to put music with text instead.